What's up guys, Derek here from The Scrub Effect, and today we will be playing Everlasting Summer. I don't know a ton about the game other than it's a visual novel. I know that it's got a great soundtrack, and I only jumped into it for a couple seconds to try and get the hang of how the reading goes. And they kind of got like a fast forward button if you want to skip past some parts, so we're not going to use this at all. So let's get into it. I was having that dream once again. That dream. Same thing every night. But it's all forgotten in the morning as usual. But maybe it's for the best. Only a glimpse of memory will remain, of gates half opened, as if inviting me somewhere, with two frozen stone pioneers standing close by. And also that strange girl who keeps asking me. What is she asking you? Will you come with me? Come? But where? And why? And where am I anyway? It's like he's in a television box. Of course, if it all happened in real life, I would certainly have been scared. Well, what else would one expect to feel? But this is just a dream. The same one I see every night. There must be a reason. You don't have to know where or why to realize something is really happening. Something desperately seeking my attention, since everything that surrounds me here is real. As real things in my own flat, I could open the gates, hear the hinges creak, brush the crumbling rust away from my hand, inhale the fresh, cool air, and shiver from the cold. I could, but to do that, I would need to pick myself up, take a step, move my hand. But this is a dream. I understand that, but what of it? What does my understanding change? Because here, it's just like any other of the cracked screen of an old TV, which struggles to fight against static noise and strives to show its audience everything without missing a single detail. But the picture is getting blurry. I must be waking up soon. Oh, I get it. ... Maybe I should ask her something. The girl. What's her name? What about the stars, for instance? Why the stars, though? I'd rather ask about the gates. Yes, the gates. She would be so surprised. Okay, maybe you guys can call me out on this, but was that gate closed before I blinked? I don't know. Or better, why the dot over an I called a tittle, but the dot over a J is called a superscript dot? Nice letters. But if they don't exist anymore. Still, what do letters, gates, and stars have to do with this place? Because even I am having this dream every night, which will be forgotten soon anyway. I've got to look for answers here and now, because there, if you look carefully, you can see the Magellanic clouds. I don't know, as if I'd ended up in the southern hemisphere. ... In a dream, there are small things that can catch your attention: an unnatural color of grass, impossible curves of straight lines, and your own distorted reflection. While the real danger, what could put an end to everything right here and now, seems trivial. It's natural, since here you cannot die. I know it for sure, I've done it hundreds of times. But if you cannot die, what is the point? Is there a point in living? I should ask the girl. She's a local, she should know. This is turning a little dark. Yes, exactly. I should ask her about the owl, for example. Oh. You guys call me out on that too, but has that owl always been on top of the gate? Oh boy. Though it doesn't matter. I'm trying to see if anything's changing while I'm blinking, because I'm just noticing some things right now. Will you come with me? And every time I have to answer. It's the only way. Otherwise the dream will never end, and I will never wake up. And let's go with her. Every time it's so hard to decide an answer. Where am I? What am I doing here? Who is she? And why does so much in my life depend on this answer? I thought this was a dream. Or maybe it doesn't. It's it's just a dream after all. Alright. Just a dream. Okay, so he's typing. Or am I supposed to be typing? Oh, oh boy. go back to what it was before. There we go. I'm switching from full screen to windowed and everything. Going crazy. Alright, so what are we looking at here? Oh. What am I looking up? That computer screen stared at me as if it was alive. Oh, that was a long blink. Sometimes it really did seem to me that it was conscious of itself, had its own thoughts and wishes, ambitions, thought that it had feelings, could love and suffer, as if in our relationship the screen wasn't an instrument. It was me who was a lifeless piece of plastic and textile. There are some truth to that, probably because the computer provides 90% of my communication with the outside world. Anonymous image boards, some chats from time to time, rarely ICQ or Jabber, and forums even more rarely. So this guy's kind of like a shut-in. Not really having a life. People on the other end of the internet cable simply do not exist. All of them are simply creations of its sick imagination, an error in the source code, or a kernel bug, which started living a life of its own. That's an interesting way to look at it. Yep. What am I looking at? All the images are like blurred before you can actually see them. I don't know if they'll explain why. Oh, so it's a lamp. Okay. If one looked at my existence from the outside, ooh, it's gone quiet. Such thoughts would seem crazy, and a psychologist would surely give me a bunch of sophisticated diagnoses and maybe write me a doctor's referral to the loony bin. Oh, did I turn the light on? It's really bright now. It's still really blurry. I don't know what's going on. Oh, okay, so the light came up through the windows. A small apartment with no signs of repair or any semblance of order in it, and always the same view out the window on the gray megalopolis running somewhere day and night. Such are the conditions of my life. Sounds so sad. Well, of course, it didn't all start like this. I was born and went to school and finished it like all others. I was accepted at a university where I spent a year and a half trailing behind and struggling. I drifted through several jobs. Sometimes it was working out quite well. Sometimes I was even getting decent money for it. But it all felt like it was not me, or not mine. As if taken from another man's biography. I wasn't living life to its fullest. It was looping over and over in monotonous circles. Life in the movie, like in the movie Groundhog Day. It's just that I had no choice in how to spend my life, and every day repeated itself, the same vicious spiral. A spiral of emptiness, misery, and despair. Yeah, this is looking really sad for this guy. For the last few years, I just sat in front of the screen all day. Sometimes there were menial jobs. Sometimes my parents helped me. All in all, I was able to provide for myself. No wonder, really, since my needs are quite minor. I hardly ever leave my home. My communication with other people almost exclusively consists of online correspondence with the anonymous, who have no real name, no gender, no age. So in brief, a quite typical life of a quite typical antisocial person of his time. Kind of Donnie Darko on a minor scale without doomsday-related visions. Maybe some highly respected author. I don't think that's Alright, will write a novel about me, and it'll become a contemporary classic of modern literature. I just wanted to point out that I caught that with the grammar, or spelling Nazi, what do you want to call it? Or I will write one myself. However, that's the point of fooling myself. I tried many times, but couldn't even come up with a simple short story. I tried to learn many other things as well. Not gifted enough to draw, programming got boring. Foreign languages takes too much time. The only thing I loved doing was reading, but still I never would have called myself a scholar. Perhaps I was an ace at watching anime and a grandmaster of lame internet jokes. If I were to get paid for it, I would probably be a happier person, and a richer person too, but I doubt it would fill the hole inside me. It'd be kind of nice to get paid to not do a ton. It's like everyone's dream. Today was another typical day of a typical failures, typical life. See, it's just sad. And today is the day when I have to go to my university reunion. Frankly speaking, I really didn't want to. What is the point? The time I spent with them was so short. However, I was persuaded by a friend, my former university mate, and one of the few whom I kept in touch other than through the internet. So our friend is trying to help us get out of this, get into the world. This is a really beautiful game. I just want to point that out. It's also Russian, like it's a Russian attempt at like Japanese anime kind of style. So the art is a little different, and that might also be because, or that might also change the text, where it should be one thing and it looks like another. Maybe that was the translating error. Frosty evening. Bus stop, waiting. I never liked winter, though hot summer is not my season either. It's just that I see no reason to point out any particular time of the year. It doesn't matter much what the weather is outside when you stay at home 24/7. The bus stop was running so late that I was about to curse it all and spend my last few hundred rubles. I think that's the currency. For a taxi. The idea of just returning home didn't cross my mind for some reason. As usual, millions of thoughts flew through my mind, but there was not a single useful one to seize on. Such a thought that you could bring into existence, give a shape, turn into an idea, and put into practice. Maybe I could start my own business. But where would I get the money from? Or maybe I could go back to working in an office? No, no way. Maybe I should try freelancing. But what skills do I have, and who would want me after all? This guy kind of goes off and just gets really sad at times. Suddenly remembered my childhood, or rather my teen years, the time when I was 15, 17 years old. Why exactly those years? No idea. I guess it's because back then everything was so much more simple. It was easier to make decisions. So complicated now and so simple then. Waking up in the morning, I knew exactly how my day was going to pass, and I always eagerly looked forward to the weekend, when I could get some rest and have time for the things I liked. Computer, football, going out with friends. And then at the beginning of the next week, I'd take up my studies again. Back then, there was no such thing as worrying questions like why, who needs it, what will change if I do it, or what will not change. Simple lifestyle, so casual for any normal person, and so odd to myself today. That careless childhood age. It was also then that I met my first love. Her appearance and personality have vanished from my memory. Only her name remains, like a brief line from a social network profile, along with the feelings which overwhelmed me when I was with her. Does he give us a name? Maybe not. Affection, tenderness, the desire to care for her and to protect her. Sadly, it didn't last long. Today I can hardly imagine something like that happening. I'd probably like to meet a girl, but I don't know how to start a conversation, what on earth to discuss, and how to attract her. Well, I haven't met any suitable girls for a long time, but where would I meet one anyway? Considering he hasn't gotten out, I don't know if he would meet any suitable girls just over the internet. The sound of an engine brought me back to reality. The bus pulled over. There's something abnormal about it, I thought. And again, it doesn't matter. Only the 410 runs this route. So, it's like a pink bus. This looks like one of the images from, or that last image looked like one of the images from the trailer. Streetlights pass me by as if it's their cold lights, sparks inside of me, trying to ignite feelings long dead. Or maybe not ignite, just awaken them. Because those feelings that have been living in me for so long, slumbering and waking up again, the driver's radio was playing playing some very familiar tune. But I wasn't listening to it. I was watching the cars passing through the fogged up window. Because people are always rushing somewhere, chasing something they need, stuck in their own little worlds. Why would they care about mine? They probably have their own serious problems. Or maybe they have much easier lives. You can't know for sure since all people are different. Or are they? Sometimes someone's actions can easily be predicted, but if you try to look inside his soul, you only see impenetrable darkness. The bus was approaching downtown and my thoughts were interrupted by the bright city lights. Hundreds of billboards, thousands of cars, millions of people. I watched this light show and somehow I got terribly sleepy. Alright, so he's fallen asleep. My eyes were closed for just a moment, and then... I'm guessing that's Everlasting Summer in Russian. So that'll wrap up this episode, guys. This has been Derek with the Scrub Effect, and we will see you next time.